Now that Jerome has passed away, the Saint family must decide what to do. While Teddy is running out of allies and is concerned about more than just Franklin, Louis is extremely upset, Sissy is pretty disheartened, and Franklin controls his emotions. Teddy is also concerned about more than just Franklin. Louis, still covered in blood and bruises from Kane's gang, watches from the side while Franklin talks with a mortician. Only when she is prevented from escorting Jerome's body into a back room at the funeral home does she speak. Leon tenderly grabs hold of the distressed widow and carries her home. Franklin visits his mother and Wanda, while Leon cares for Louis. As soon as she notices something is wrong, Sissy asks Franklin about Jerome. Franklin merely shakes his head no. The young saint then takes his mother to the funeral home, where she sees her dead brother. Her face becomes emotionally cold, but Franklin tries to console her by simply putting his hand on her shoulder. She rejects his touch and walks away. Sissy shows up at Louis's house the next day, and the two women talk. Sissy mentions that Jerome adored Louis and that the family's constant fighting must end. Louis responds that Franklin is to blame for what has occurred. Sissy admits that her son has gotten his hands dirty, but she claims that no one's going home with clean hands. Louis claims she lost her husband as if it were a contest. Sissy responds that she, too, has lost him, as well as her own husband. She also does not want to lose anyone else. Jerome's widow then says, "I understand you still have things you care about, but I don't." Franklin is in bed with Veronique that night when he begins to freak out in his sleep. He woke up from his nightmare, gasping for air and complaining that he couldn't breathe. Veronique assures him that he is fine, but he insists that he is not. Sissy places her hand on her brother's casket at the funeral and apologizes. Louis asks disgraced Officer Buckley if Jerome reached out to him on the day he was killed. Buckley lies, claiming that Jerome never called him. Her next meeting is with Franklin. Louis questions Franklin about why he returned to save her from Ken. Franklin claims it was because he was raised to respect women and couldn't bear the thought of her suffering. He also tells her that he returned because she promised him that if he helped her, she would help him find Teddy. With that, Louis tells Franklin that he is the devil. He responds, "Yeah, I know." Teddy keeps paging Louis's beeper while grieving. When she finally calls him back, she reluctantly agrees to meet with him in person. Teddy tells her right away that he needs her help getting to Franklin. She claims they don't socialize, but Teddy orders her to change that, reminding her that she works for him. This causes Louis to lose it and tell Teddy about Jerome's death. She promises to assist Teddy after Jerome's funeral, but she prefers to be alone until then. It remains to be seen whether she will actually support Franklin or Teddy in their fight, given that she has made promises to both. All of the major players appear to be conspiring against Teddy, starting with Ruben, who shows up unannounced at Gustavo's house and threatens to harm him and his family if he doesn't assist the KGB in getting Teddy arrested for drug-related crimes. He specifically requests that Gustavo make sure that a future cocaine shipment arrives in Teddy's warehouse within the next 2 days so Teddy can be caught red-handed. Ruben's words frighten not only Gustavo, but also Zayamara. After the KGB agent departs, she locks the front door and informs Gustavo that they must end their relationship and that he should not know where she decides to flee with the children. His ex-wife Julia also puts a target on Teddy's back. Teddy receives a visit from Ha while pregnant, begging him to quit risking the safety of their unborn child and return Franklin's money. Teddy's ex also slams him for saying he's a part of the covert drug operation because it's his patriotic duty. She believes that he is actually involved in order to make a point to a parent who he doesn't even like. By warning him to make things right or she will, Julia ends her outburst. When he questions her about how she would go about doing that, she responds coldly, "A public execution." The CIA is also tired of Teddy and the mess he finds himself in. Stephen, Teddy's CIA contact, speaks with the lead CIA agent about Teddy's mess with Franklin and the KGB. The in-charge agent instructs Stephen to clear everything up before things worsen. Wanda is concerned about her husband's future after Jerome's death. Leon wonders what she is doing as she packs her items in their flat. She tells him that while she is staying with him, she is quitting the projects. In a perfect world, according to Wanda, they would be returning to Ghana to start a family. But she only sees the two of them traveling toward a fate similar to that of Jerome and Louis, with Har burying him. Wanda doesn't believe Leon when he claims that he simply needs more time to set up things in the projects before they can leave. Later, Sissy offers Wanda an apartment and the position of director of the homeless shelter, which she happily accepted. For more videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.